Good morning to all my DoMoreLife family, and thank you for coming in. Hello, Goodmore Hike. I just dropped you a wrench, and hopefully we'll pick up some people here along the way, and everything will be all good, and we will have a nice, productive conversation about my little, really quick trip to Malaysia. Which, sorry, I'm just getting my email set up there. Cody, what's up, brother? Richard in the house. Richard in the house. I think I'm going to take some time off when you come, Richard, to make sure that you and I get to go make some videos again, because I think it'll be a lot better now than it was before. Not that the videos that we made before were bad. I just think it'd be really cool to get back together. Jim, my man, good morning to you, sir. I was actually going to message you yesterday, and I literally just got busy and forgot about it. Good evening, Jeremy, or good morning to you, I guess. Yeah, man, I hope you are doing well. I hope you are doing super, super well. I hope you're on the road to getting better. Actually, got a message from your son saying that you were not in the best of shape. So my thoughts and best wishes go out to you, brother. I really do appreciate it. Really, really do appreciate it. Let's see here. Mitch, good to see you, bro. Are you experienced? Hey, thank you for being here. Are you experienced? I hate that you missed the last one. Cody says 8:15 p.m. here. 8:15? Oh, yeah, but you're out there in Central America. That's the East Coast time. Sorry, man. Hey, Tower Ski, J. Ed, hi from Florida. Jimmy, cool. It's good to see. It's really good to see Jim back in the chat, man. I was worried about you, bro. We all were. I ain't. No, that's no BS either. Let's see. Henry, greetings from Wisconsin. Good to see you. Be accountable. What's up? Good to see you, man. Richard says, yay, why 10 hours early to Malaysia Airport? I'm going to talk about that in just a minute. I'm going to give some people time to come in here, and I'm going to talk specifically about what I did and why I did it. Cody says, easier to ask for time off once you put in a little time. That's very true. Good morning, Joseph. Jim says, I've been down for the last couple of weeks, but I'm actually feeling really good. Thank God. I'm so glad to hear that, Jim. You have no idea, bro. Let's see here. Snowstorm in Ottawa today. Oh, Lord. Craig Lee. Craig, what's up, my brother? Good to see you in here, man. Keep KLP years ago. Love you, bro. Love you too, man. Thank you, bro, for following the channel, man, and your situation. I don't know what to say other than, I wish you all the best, man, and keep you in my thoughts, and that's all I can do, and send you as much positivity as possible. Hey, prep for it. Good to see you. Be accountable says, I'm in Bangkok on April the 7th. Hope we can get together and enjoy a Coke. Absolutely. We'll make that happen. Be accountable. No problem. Cody says, snowstorms up north. It was 72 degrees here today. Ty Z, great to see Jim doing better. Yes, it is. Jim says it's been a little rough for the last couple of weeks, but I'm feeling better for the last couple of days. So hopefully I'm on the way back. I hope so, buddy. Richard says 40-degree weather in San Francisco, so cold for us West Coasters. I bet it is, man. Our experience Newfoundland, Canada got 75 centimeters in 12 hours last night. Woo. Hey, Addie, good to see you. Enjoyed the Kuala Lumpur trip and staying healthy with the powder. Thank you, man. Appreciate it very much. Appreciate it. Okay. Let's talk about Malaysia, and let's talk about why I went to Malaysia and what happened when I was there. So, there was a quote-unquote discrepancy with the transfer of the visa process. Now, so I was told to go to Kuala Lumpur, stay overnight, come back in the country. You guys that's done this before know how it works. Turns out it was completely unnecessary, but we didn't know that at the time, and so everybody was playing it safe because nobody wants to do anything illegal, especially with the Ministry of Labor or immigration here in Thailand. So that was my reason, my main reason for going. Now, let me tell you about the whole process and that kind of thing. Let me catch a few comments first. Cody says forgetting your camera was probably like leaving a kid home alone. It was, Cody. It was bad, man. Richard says 2 months until your 2-year Thailand anniversary. That's correct. That's correct. No, April will be my 2 years. April. Paul says, yo, what's up with the Malaysia trip? Was only there one day. I believe I just answered that. Thank you for throwing up the PayPal link there, Mr. Are You Experienced? So I went to Malaysia because of a perceived visa issue that didn't even need to happen. So anyway, it was all taken care of. But I want to tell you guys about the process of flying from Bangkok to Malaysia and coming right back home so fast. Hey, Roger, good to see you, bud. I left, first of all, this whole trip cost me about $350, which is not that bad, really, considering, everything together. Now, that's not including taxis and all of that stuff. Yeah, are you experienced? I hope to see you when you get here, too. So basically, essentially, I got up way early to make sure that I got on the plane in Bangkok in time with no problem. There were no issues with immigration on the way out at all, none. Yeah, it was kind of lame that the hotel wouldn't call a taxi for me. I didn't like that very much. It didn't. It was a bad vibe. That was a nice little hotel room too, by the way. It really was. 33% December and February. Yeah, so is AdSense, Cody. I understand, man, but it's like 1/4 of what it normally is. So I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Just keep putting out good content. That's all I know. Carlos says, "Hey JC, greetings from the Golden State. Question: how much money can I take out? Can I take without having a problem? Less than 10,000 US dollars. That's it. Roger. Thank you so much for getting the contribution started today. I appreciate it very, very much. $15 from Roger. Thank you, bro. I really appreciate that, man. Really appreciate that. I don't want to miss all these comments here. Dwayne says Bangkok, April 1st. Cool, man. New Jersey in the house. Welcome. Absolutely. Richard says would have been funny to have a wide angle lens for that airport scene. I bet there was nobody in there. Yeah, it would have been. It would have been nice to have that. Yeah, you're right, Richard. Rick says, "What's up, Jeremy? Good to see you again. Thought I missed you today." Nope. This is just kind of an impromptu thing. Cody in Texas says, "I think 10K." I don't know what he's talking about. Roger says, "Sent $15 will double if we get to 100." Roger has thrown out a challenge. So if we get to $100, he will double his $15 contribution. That would really help out, guys. Not that I'm asking you for it. I'm just saying that would really help out. Thank you for throwing that challenge out, Roger. I appreciate it. Addie says, taxi driver in job 10 did not know how to get to Bangkok airport halfway there. Very stressful. I agree. Richard says you can only take 50,000 baht out of Thailand. Oh, I didn't know about the out of Thailand. Cody says this time of year, most are recovering from Christmas and waiting on tax season to be done with. I understand that. Mario and B, good afternoon. Jeremy, how are you doing? I'm great and good to see you. Yeah, Cody says, there we go, Roger. Thanks. Yeah, thanks, Roger. So anyway, here's what I did. I left my apartment. Thank you for throwing the PayPal link up or your experience. I left my apartment very early the morning of the flight and got to the airport in Bangkok about 3 to 4 hours before the flight was scheduled to leave. I get there early just because if there's anything at all that ever goes wrong, I don't have to worry about, not having enough time to correct whatever needs to be corrected. Now, I got to Bangkok, got on the flight, went to Kuala Lumpur, and landed at the international airport, which, in case you guys don't know, is about, depending on where you're going to Kuala Lumpur, is about 40 minutes to an hour to Kuala Lumpur. Jim says, there is that challenge I was looking for. I will keep a rolling count for you, JC. All right, do that, Jim. Do that, Jim. We'll see if we get anybody to for contributions today. It is what it is, man. Roger got it started, and I appreciate the heck out of it. Good Morning says, how hot was it in Kuala Lumpur? It actually wasn't that bad, to be honest with you. I was a little bit surprised. Of course, I was only outside during the morning, and I got there at night. So let me explain this. So I get out, or I get off the plane and go through immigration in Malaysia. This is how simple immigration is in Malaysia. You go to Malaysia, and the guy looked at my passport, stamped it, and I was done in less than 20 seconds. He just flipped through the passport, stamped it, gone. And I immediately went out, got a taxi to the little hotel I had seen. Now, keep in mind, I had no idea where this hotel was. I had no idea what the surroundings were going to be like. I had no idea what Malaysia was going to be like. I was shocked, to be honest with you, at just how nice the people were. That in and of itself was amazing. The only not really unnice, or not nice. The only thing that really happened that I was like, what? Is that the hotel wouldn't call a taxi. Like, I didn't understand that. Let me catch a couple comments here. Jeremy, do you know Andrew? I don't think so, Tower Ski. Not sure. Message me on Facebook about that because I don't know. I know several people named Andrew, but I'm not sure what you're talking about there. Sorry, bud. Pedro says I want to go to Pattaya. Go at your own risk. That's all I can say. Our experience says, what is the temp in Bangkok? Right now, it's about, I don't know. That's a good question. It's warm. It's warm. It's warm. Very warm. Way to go, Roger. How's the air quality? The air quality today is bad, like it always is. I think it's at 110, something like that. It's not good. Eddie says, why Kuala Lumpur? Just asking, because I figured if I was going to have to leave the country, I didn't go to an embassy or a consulate or anything like that and get any type of visa work done while I was out. I just thought if I'm going to have to leave the country for a day, I might as well go to a city I've always wanted to been to, and I've always wanted to go to, and I tried my best to get myself close enough to the towers, those things that start with a P, so that I could at least take some pictures and video for you guys. And I didn't even get close enough for that, and it broke my heart. It really did. Robert, how you doing, man? Good to see you. Richard says, what's the new immigration process like in Bangkok, assuming you flew back to that airport? Long lines, fingerprint sensors, biometrics. Long lines, fingerprint sensors, and biometrics are all in there. When I flew back in, I just had to answer a couple questions at the immigration counter after I showed them my paperwork and what I was doing and all that stuff. And that was where I was informed that my trip was unnecessary. So, but anyway, long story short, it's all that stuff's taken care of. Let's see. You don't need to do a visa run. KL was vacay. No, it was perceived that I needed to do a quote unquote visa run, right? So they wanted me to go out of the country and come back in overnight, basically to do like a visa reset, pretty much is what it amounts to. So under the pretense of a visa run, that was the whole purpose in going and staying such a short time. But come to find out, I didn't need to do that. Like everything I had was still legal. Everything I had was still good. And there were no issues. So anyway, let's see. Cody says, years ago, I had a Malaysian friend that reminded me a lot of Filipino women and relationship beliefs and have the luxury of having a country that is maintained better. I got to say this, Malaysia was a very, very well, or the parts that I saw were very well maintained. The roads were nice. I mean, that they weren't bumpy and anything like that. You would never, or I would never consider Malaysia to be something like a, Malaysia is a very developed country from what I saw. They had some beautiful condos. I was trying my best to find my camera on the way in so I could shoot or record some video for you guys, and I couldn't find it. And when I woke up the next morning, after I had unpacked everything, I only took one bag, and after I had unpacked it, I saw the little string that the Osmo Pocket was attached to, which is not mine, by the way. I'm getting ready to give that back to the friend that let me loan it. So, hoping to be able to pick up another one because it's really convenient, really convenient. Richard says, Rockman called me 2 days ago, asked me where's Jimmy. Thai people have a hard time saying Jeremy. I get that. Rockman, we need to go see Rockman when you come over, Richard. Our experience says they are screening for the new SARS from China. One case made it to Thailand. Ooh, I didn't know that. I had no idea. I've heard a lot of news on Bangkok Jack lately, and some of it hadn't been good. So I don't know how credible the source is. I think it's cool, but you never know. Eddie says, I think people go from Koh Samui to Malaysia for visa runs because it's cheaper. Probably. But like I said, I didn't go on I didn't go to any embassy or consulate or anything like that. It was just the pretense that my visa, they needed to cancel one so they could start another one, and come to find out, it didn't happen. So, Richard says, you're a good expat, Jeremy, always trying to do the right thing at your own expense. Come on, guys. Can we help out with some contributions? That's up to you guys, man. That is completely up to you guys. But thank you for mentioning that, Richard. Craig says, why did you not stay longer? Because this was a one day in, one day out flight. It was a round trip. And I explained why I didn't stay longer earlier in the video. So if you want to catch that, Craig, just go back to the beginning after this one is over. Richard says, would have been funny to get a Malaysian t-shirt and then title the video 13 hours in Malaysia. And all I got was this stupid t-shirt. That would have been pretty cool. One Night in Malaysia sounds like the title of a good party movie. Yes, definitely. Eddie says several cases of SARS in China. Big news here now. Ooh, that's not good. Travel TV, what's up, brother? Hey, Jeremy, what's up? I love the Malaysia when I went. I'm sure I can't wait to go back to Malaysia and actually get to explore it a little bit for sure. He also says it was funny when I went to Malaysia, all the girls were from different countries. I couldn't find a Malaysian girl. Stuck in Florida says, I just noticed the notification. Hello, everyone. Hello, Stuck in Florida. How are you doing, my friend? Good to see you. And I just read some of your comments. There's a wrench for you. Richard says, hope you used your free night for that hotel room. Actually, I didn't have a free night for that hotel room. I had to. This is why I say, you know, at least you guys got to see a teeny tiny bit of Malaysia if you've never seen Malaysia before. You know, it was. I was taking pictures on my cell phone, trying to show you guys these things because the whole process was just immense. It was so tight. Cody says Malaysian women are. I'm not sure what that means. Is that from a history of integrating and being closer to Africa? Oh, I don't know. It might be, man. Could be. So anyway, here's the long story, very short. Get on the plane at Bangkok, land in at the international airport in Malaysia, take about an hour cab ride to the hotel, get checked into the hotel, put my bag down, take a shower, go to bed, take a shower, go to bed, and for some reason I couldn't sleep very well that night, so I only slept about 3.5 hours. I got up the next morning. My flight wasn't until I think 2:50 in the afternoon, but I was up at like 7, showered again, and that's when I found my friend's pocket Osmo that he's letting me borrow. So that's when I found that, and that's when I recorded the video that got posted yesterday. So I found that and started recording as much as I could for you guys. I recorded a trip on the way out, and you know, that was the best I could do because I literally, like Cody said, it was almost like leaving one of my kids at home. I was so disgusted with myself. I was like, people think I don't travel, right? But people think I don't ever get out and go anywhere. I've been to some places already. These videos are on hold right now because I'm not going to waste some of my best content that I have right now on YouTube with AdSense being so extraordinarily low. I mean, this happens every year, guys. It's nothing new, but that's why I did the 100 crappy video challenge, right? So we're now 96 videos to go. And I got more coming. I got all kinds of little stuff coming out. Some of them are quick vlogs, some of them are longer vlogs. But nevertheless, it's always going to give you some information. There's always going to be some value to it. The turnaround at Malaysia was awesome because the airport at Malaysia is fantastic. The international airport there is awesome. There is any kind of food you want. You could basically find in the airport. The prices were not crazy, which is unbelievable. But they weren't. They were very good. And, you know, for the short turnaround time that I had, I did the best that I could. So I get there at night in Malaysia. I get into my hotel room about 11 p.m., I think. Try to go to bed around midnight. Got up, didn't go to sleep till about 2:30 or 3:30. I can't remember. Got up at 5:30 or 6:30, and I got up about 5:30 because when I found the camera and I was fully dressed, showed you guys it was 6:30. Richard says, during your video, I was hoping you were going to tell the Grab car driver to get his own YouTube channel. Only Jeremy does the commentary, all his meaningless comments. You were very nice about it. Yeah, I definitely was. Flow right out. Bangkok Diaries. Hello, how are you? I don't think I've seen you before, but good to see you and have you in here. I appreciate it. Richard says, I have 19 crappy videos and all of my 52 subs love them. There you go. That's what it's all about. What about the nightlife in Malaysia? I had no chance to explore it. I was there for probably about 13 hours. In Malaysia. I was there for about 13 hours itself. And that's not counting the time that I spent at the airport, because I went to the airport about 9:30 a.m. in the morning is what time I got there, or 9 or 9:30, I can't remember. And my flight didn't leave until it was originally scheduled for 2:50, and then it got bumped an hour to 3:50. So that's 4:50 p.m. Bangkok time, because they're an hour behind. It was a mess, man. Traveling like that, one little flight here, one there, and trying to get it all done. It was rough. I'm not gonna lie, but I've done it before, and yeah, I got some more videos coming out on some quick trips and how-tos and things like that. How's it going? Go more. He says, stuck in Florida. Cody says, most vids, I think people prefer to be 10 to 15 minutes tops. I would agree, Cody. Other than these live chats, of course. Travel TV says, I got some video of Kuala Lumpur on my channel. Love that place. Yeah, check out Travel TV, man. He's got some good stuff on his channel. I also follow him on Instagram too, because he does a lot of stories on Instagram. I heard you got robbed or something. Didn't you say something about getting robbed, Travel TV, in America, on your Instagram a couple days ago or something? That's terrible, man. I hated to hear that. Our experience says at Bangkok Diaries, I don't mean to speak for Jared, but he's not a big nightlife guy. That's true. That's true. Addie says, and you're allowed to make those kind of comments because you know me and you spent time with me. Addie says, I have nearly 40 audio books about Oz for my new website, and they're all crappy. LOL. I hear you, man. Going right says, Addie's, how's the forest fires in your area? Are they dying down? That's a good one. Richard says, I think it's funny that it sounds like Bangkok immigration knew exactly what you had done. You didn't need to do that. You're Malaysia. Yeah, pretty much. So, they were completely cool. I think I answered like 4 questions as I was standing there, and that was it. It was right back through, and everything was fine. Kuala Lumpur has a really good transit system. You don't need a cab. See, I didn't know anything about that. I really didn't have time to research it because of the instructions I was given, which is kind of sad. Cody says, sounds like you did Malaysia as a just in case, making sure. Yeah, basically, that's pretty much what happened, Cody. You're 100% correct. Eddie says, we got rain, but still lots of fires. 40,000 koalas died on Kangaroo Island. Only 9,000 koalas. That's terrible, man. Go Niners. They played today, Richard? Or today your time, or did they already play your time? Big Shooter, whoever you are, thanks for subscribing to the channel. Welcome. Let's see. Cody says, I get robbed every time I go to the mailbox. We know that feeling, that's for sure. One thing I want to say about Malaysia is the way that everything is kept up so pristine. You would not know you were in Southeast Asia. I mean, it's totally different from anywhere that I've been before, even Thailand. It's just, they got the center line, the streets lined with these beautiful palm trees and all the immaculate, not gardening, but what am I trying to say? What's the horticulture? All that stuff is just nice. Even that little bitty room I stayed in was super clean. There were no bugs, no mosquitoes, none of that stuff. So I do have to give a big thumbs up to the country in general, just for being, well kept. I was very surprised, at which is why I would definitely be going back to Malaysia at some point. Definitely. Um, and that really covers the Malaysia trip, because when I got home from Bangkok and went through immigration, it was already very late, and well, it was about 6:30, 7 o'clock, something like that. And I was at the immigration counter for about, I don't know, 8 minutes or so. He was looking through all my the stamps and the passports and all that stuff, because he was trying to figure out the same thing I was trying to figure out. I was like, pretty sure I didn't need to leave the country to maintain legal status, and it all worked out. It all worked out. Obviously, or I wouldn't be here. I mean, about the only good thing is, let me show you. There's the raggedy old passport with the new 9B in it, and there is the shiny new work permit. Shiny. So, again, it was just a transferal thing, and I'll try to cover up all of this right here. I don't know if that'll work or not. Can you see my face? Yeah, okay. So that's the work permit, and like I said, everything worked out. Travel TV says, I was selling a PS4 and some kid came up and grabbed it. Oh my gosh, that's terrible. Cody says, yeah, I can go with live streams 2 hours plus. Sometimes I can too. It depends on how it's going. I get motivated. Obviously, you guys know I'm not gonna lie. I get motivated with contributions to the channel, because it makes me feel like I'm doing something worthwhile when I do these things. So I tend to go longer with the when we're getting contributions, but that's just a human thing, I guess. Kowalski says, Jeremy, have you ever thought about teaching English in Dubai or maybe Seoul? Yes, I have. My best friend right now is teaching right outside of Seoul. I do not have any interest in going to Korea. Dubai, maybe. Maybe. Cody says, it reminds me of a little Dubai by videos. You talking about Malaysia? I would kind of agree with that. I've never been to Dubai, but I've seen a lot of pictures, and just based on picture to picture, I would agree with that. Addie says, fire still in states of South Australia, Victoria, and New South Wales. Man, that's terrible. Roger says, nobody wants to make me pay. Now, not a challenge, it's a dare. That's a good one, Roger. For those of you that don't know, Roger contributed $15 via PayPal. And he said if we got $100 in contributions today, which we normally get on this channel during at least one live stream. If I have two on the weekends, we at least get $100 usually. So he said that he would double his initial contribution, which does nothing but help out the channel. That's it. It does nothing but help out the channel. Let's see. Marcus says, hello from Wings. Just having a listen while watching for the Conor McGregor and Donald Cowboy fight. Enjoy life, mate. Thank you. Appreciate that. Richard says, I'll take Malaysia or Thailand over San Francisco. I believe that. I was attacked twice this week walking to the gym at 4:45 a.m. Homeless, out of control, and no damage to me, just bruises. I was surprised both times. That's crazy, man. I just watched a documentary on that too, Richard, about how bad it is in San Francisco, and that's just sad, dude. I'm glad you're okay. That's really really bad. Did they? Yeah, that's a good question, Go Mike. Did they take money or anything, or did they just like try to beat on you? Cody says the teaching jobs I've researched, some say they handle your work permit for you, and some don't in the job descriptions. Yeah, and try not to use an agency. Well, if you're first time coming over here, looking for a job, using the agency is okay, but you have to make sure it's credible, and that's something that's very very hard to do. Um, Very hard to do. You have to make sure that it's a credible agency, because a lot of them are not, and a lot of them don't care if you wind up on overstay, and you have to pay for it. Because ultimately everything in this country that you do is your responsibility. I'm sorry, guys, that's just the way it is. But Cody, if you find a job you like, let me know, and I'll see if I can help you do the research on it. Richard says, ambush attack, knocked me down, tried to grab my wallet, but it was zipped in my pocket. Then the adrenaline kicked in, and Richard turned into the Incredible Hulk. Good for you, bud. Good for you, man. And Jim says, good on Roger. Yes, because Roger has thrown out a contribution challenge, which I greatly appreciate. Travel TV says, would you teach in Kuala Lumpur? Probably. I didn't really get to see much of the city, but it looked very nice, and I don't see any reason why I wouldn't. Travel TV. That's a good legitimate question. Yeah, I would more than likely be happy to do that. Cody wants to know if you're okay, Richard or Richard. I don't know why I said to say Richard. Cody in Texas says, Richard, I've been broke enough to think about mugging the guys trying to rob me. I love Cody. Oh, that's funny. Our experience says San Fran is cold, Richard. I believe he's cold right now. Gilmore Hike says, I've been threatened about 20 times here lately in downtown Birmingham, yelling and crazy talk. I heard it's getting wild over there, man. Yeah, we're all glad Richard's okay for sure. Wild Dove. Yeah, Instant Karma. That's a good one. I like that. Alan says, hello, Alan. I don't think I've seen you in there before. Are your experiences chilly, not cold this time of year? Talking about in Thailand, it's not chilly at all in Bangkok. It may be up north toward Chiang Mai and Chiang Rai in that area. That's possible for sure. Gilmore Hike says he has not been attacked yet. That's a good thing. Eddie says kangaroos try to steal my money every day. That's so funny. Oh, you were talking about San Fran. Okay, gotcha, Alan. No worries, man. No worries. No worries. So that was my Malaysia story. Typically, and what people don't realize is that when you have all the pressure of you got to go through immigration, be prepared for any questions there. You got to have your proper documentation. You got to have all that stuff. You got to get on the plane at the right time, board, sit through the flight, get off, get a taxi, find a hotel that you've never been to before, get some sleep, make sure you get up on time the next day, go back and do it all over again, and then wait, in my case, about 8 hours in an airport that you really didn't have anything to do for those 8 hours other than sit there. I could have taken that time to go around a little bit of Kuala Lumpur, but I didn't want to take the chance of getting stuck there because I just don't have the free cash flow to book another flight. Just don't have it. So anyway, when you do that, it is exhausting. I mean, like exhausting. Yeah, I'm gonna do a whole video set, like a series on how to get a non-B visa and a work permit. Now I know I already have a video about that, but it was very loosely organized, and I'm gonna do one way you can get it and another way you can get it. I'm gonna do the two best options on how to get a non-B visa and a work permit here in Thailand, and it's going to be for people that want to work for a company that's already established. Because if you want to come here and own your own business, then getting the non-B visa is extremely more, I don't want to say difficult, it's just more time consuming, much more paperwork, and it's recommended that you get a lawyer to do it, to help you do it. So I'm not going to talk about that. I'm going to talk about people that are coming over from teaching, or they want a corporate job or something like that. Because it has been the mission. 2020 is now officially certified as the Labor Department and the Department of Immigration, or the Ministry. I don't know what immigration calls itself. The Immigration Police and the Ministry of Labor are now doubling up to make sure that they take out all illegal workers this year. So if you are working and you're on a tourist visa, or if you're working on an educational visa, or working on even an elite visa, if you don't have a work permit, you're gonna, at the very least, it's going to be fines. You could face criminal charges and also blacklisting, deportation. So they're taking it very seriously, and you can go to Bangkok Jack and read the stuff. Not Bangkok Jack, I'm sorry, IntegrityLegal.com just released that video this morning. I encourage you to go read it. All right, let's see here. Where were we? Cody says back streets are no-goes downtown almost everywhere these days. I've heard that, man. That's sad too. In America, that's just sad. Go More Hike says that's a phrase I've never used before. Kangaroos try to steal my money. Stuck in Florida says, "Are you experienced?" Yes, San Francisco is cold. Wild Dove X says it's cold in San Fran. Coyotes around the Bay Area too. Ooh, that doesn't sound like fun. Not like Florida stuff. Yeah, for sure. My dad's in Florida right now. He's in Orlando, and he said it was just beautiful. Just feels like, summertime. He loves it. He's currently camping around the USA. He finally retired, and he's got his truck and he's got his camper, and him and his wife live on the move. He don't want to get out of the United States, but he wants to travel and see the whole United States. So good on him is what I say. Alan says, yeah, I used to come in your live streams, talk to you a couple of times. I told you I was coming to Thailand in September, but when I got there, I was so sick, ruined my whole trip. Oh, man, that's terrible. That's bad, man. I hope you got over it, for sure. Where was I at here? Cody says the coldest winter ever experienced was a summer in San Francisco. Morgan Freeman. You been sick, Go More Hike? It's about that time of year in the States for everybody to start getting sick, though. It's cold and flu season over there. Time to get back on the horse, for sure. Stuck in Florida says it's supposed to be below 0 degrees Celsius here this weekend. Wow. Richard says, Cody, you got that saying correct. Most people screw it up. Alan says, I told you also I was from North Carolina. Fabe. Oh, yeah. Oh, okay, Fabe. I got you, man. I remember who you are now. Yep. Cody says, seems like 24-hour flights give people a cold a lot. That's true, and that's because you're around so many people from so many places. Somebody's got to have something, a cold, flu, something. Go More says, North Carolina in the house, welcome for sure. Cody says, or 18 to 24-hour flights. Yeah, those are rough, man. The flight over there ain't no joke, says Go More. That's for sure. I can attest to that. Our experience says it was minus 31 last night. Gosh, that's cold, man. That's cold. Richard says I may be having to take day trip to Singapore during my 10 days in Thailand. We'll have to coordinate. If you're free, I'll contribute to your flight. No problem, man. No problem. We'll get it all worked out. Just call me. No problem. Alan says, no, it ain't no joke. I bought the cheap ticket and it took me 34 hours from North Carolina to Bangkok. Yeah, I believe that 100%, because if I would have gotten but you're talking about extensive layover, probably a 2-stop flight with really long layovers, or a 3-stop flight. Still, you had to have some layovers in there, but that's a lot of time. Alan says, I won't do that again. I'll pay extra to get there in 20. Yeah, that's a good idea. Good idea. Gomright says, you must have went over the Atlantic, Alan. 34 hours, that sounds like punishment, not a vacation. Yeah, that's by the time you get here, it's going to take you 2 or 3 days to recover from jet lag. Eddie says, only 7-hour flight from Oz. Man, that must be really nice to do a 7-hour flight to get here. Cody says, minus 31 degrees. Good Lord. Tell Santa I said hi. Stuck in Florida says, our experience has been around 27 degrees Celsius here during the day this past week. That's pretty warm. Nah, that's not bad. Robert says, I'm in Orlando. You are in Orlando right now. Cool, man. So is my pops. Gomar Hike says, I've done 34 one time. Big mistake. All my buddies in the USA need to try for 24 hours or less. I agree with that 100%. Gomar Hike says, go over the Pacific and back. Alan says, I had a 8-hour layover in Hong Kong. Well, that's not the worst place in the world to have a layover, I guess. Well, it probably might be right now. Richard says, whoop to the Thai baht, losing a bit of its strength lately against the USD, now 30.36, small victories. I've heard, Richard, that it's going to be losing a little bit more. You might see it. By the time you get here, you might see 31, maybe. I'm not sure. Alan says, I had 2 layovers, 3 hours in LA, 8 hours in Hong Kong. Yeah, so you had 2 layovers, 3 hours in LA, and 8. Oh, okay, so there was 11 hours of your flight right there, or 11 hours of your trip. Be Accountable says, I booked on Finnair and fly through Helsinki, Finland. Only 1 hour, 25-minute layover from LAX. That's cool, man. Richard says, the one thing that gets me on those long trips, like 34 hours, is I got to use the bathroom, like a real bathroom session. Stuck says, Robert, what's the temperature supposed to be down there Tuesday and Wednesday morning? Cody, what in the world do you do during an 8-hour layover unless you got Jessica Biel with you? I had an 8-hour layover at JFK as well. And pretty much you just sit there and you walk around the airport and you try to find something to do. That would be that's about it. That's what I did. 31, I would be ecstatic, Jay. Yeah, that you might see 31, Richard. Maybe it's possible. Fabe says Qatar Airlines is 21 hours from Miami. Not too bad. That is not too bad. Hey, Fabe, by the way, good to see you, man. Wow, that's not bad at all. 21 hours, not bad. Our experience is my flight is 20 hours, 2 stops, 1 14-hour and 1 4-hour, plus a 1 hour to Toronto. That sounds about right. That's typically what the flights run. I have a 6-hour layover in Hong Kong. Oh goodness. Be careful. Stay in the airport. Alan says, and what made it so bad, Jeremy? I was sick when I got to Bangkok and it ruined my whole trip. I was sick the whole 3 weeks I was there and started feeling better the day I came back. That's so bad. I'm trying to come again in April. Alan, if that ever happens to you, there are tons of really good clinics, especially in Bangkok, that you can go to that will not cost you a lot of money at all. You can go to any of these clinics over here and pay, I don't know, maybe 1,500 to 1,800 baht, roughly, something like that. That's all your meds, the visit, and everything. So you're talking about 40 bucks, 45 bucks, or something like that for a whole visit, medicine, and everything. I would encourage you to do that next time that you come. Or you can go to a public hospital, but I'd be a little sketchy about public hospitals. Robert says, talking to Stuck, says 53 and 63. Oh, those just sound so wonderful in temperatures. Cody says, shortest I've seen from Houston is 18 to 19, but you have to pay 50% more. Yeah, absolutely. Richard says, when I take Philippine Airlines, I have a 5 to 6 hour layover in Manila and only one hot dog stand for food, and you have pesos, cash only. That's true. That's very true. Robert says, stuck in Florida Tuesday night will be 39 degrees Fahrenheit. Oh, I would love to feel 39 degrees Fahrenheit. Alan says, I found a little corner and slept for most of that 8 hours. Good, man. That's a good thing. Probably helped you out. You got to make sure you stay hydrated, too. That's one thing, guys. This is why I drink this stuff right here. If you hadn't seen the video on how I make this, watch it after this live stream is over. It's in, just go under videos. It's or recently posted or whatever. It's like the third or fourth video, and you'll see how I make it, and you'll know that if you take something like this with you, drink it before you get on the plane, and then continuously stay hydrated while you're on the plane, you're going to be in a lot better shape than you would be if you didn't do that. Robert said, okay, got that. Alan, got that. Babe says, Qatar Airlines also not always full, so you can move around, maybe even a row for yourself. I had that on Eva Air when I was making my return trip from the Philippines after I went for the first time, Babe. So, yeah, you're 100% correct. Stuck in Florida says, Robert, that's pretty chilly for Orlando. Yeah, it is. Cold front coming through at that time. If you got time, let's meet up. There you go. Make some friends. Richard says, quickest trip for me from San Francisco has been 19 hours. Short 1 hour layover in Taipei, China Airlines. The only problem with that for me is that's an alert to somebody else. Uploaded a video. That was not a contribution. The only problem with the 1 hour layover is if you have to, if you've got to go through immigration and you have bags to get and all of that stuff, then you need a little extra time, in my opinion, just to make sure. So Roger has done it again, and he didn't leave a note, but he just did it again. That was the last beep you heard going off. Thank you, Roger, for making you put two $15 contributions in there, and nobody else did. So thank you for that very much. I really appreciate that very much, very, very much. Yeah, I really appreciate that, Roger, and I appreciate you throwing out a challenge too, because that was that's usually how I'm able to afford to travel and do these things. I took a 1-day trip yesterday and used public transportation the whole way from Bangkok to Pattaya, and I came back home in the same day. The reason that I took that trip was to show you guys how to get to Pattaya and back in the same day. I didn't have any real reason for going. So for making content like that, that's what contributions go towards. So the how-to stuff, traveling stuff, when I'm traveling, making content for the channel, that's what it goes for, guys. Nothing else. Nothing else. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, I had a layover in Taipei too, 17 and a half hour layover in Taipei, and it was beautiful. On my Instagram are some pictures from Taipei, and I absolutely loved it. I would definitely consider teaching there, as the starting income is about double what it is in Thailand. But you get paid by the hour. It's not a monthly contract. Cody says only Americans fly across the world and still eat hot dogs under quarter pounders. That's so true, Cody. Alan says hopefully I won't have to worry about a clinic next time I start my airborne a week ahead. There you go. That's a really good idea. Richard says I may be trying Eva Air in my next flight. My hotel for Thai hotel is booked, but no airfare yet. Try them out, man. They're a great airline. If you've never flown on them, they are really, really good with service, and especially if you can get the 777 flight. They have a 777-300 ER that flies out of JFK. I don't know what they fly out of LAX, but which I'm sure where you'll be leaving from, but it's a good flight either way. In fact, they'll probably have a more advanced aircraft over in LAX, maybe. I don't know, but they're a good airline. You'll enjoy it. Gomor Hike says I like to have at least 2 hour layover. Yeah, if I'm gonna have a layover, I like for at least to be 2 hours. That way, I don't have to worry about finding my luggage or if something gets lost or missing, that kind of thing. The 2 hour layover is enough time to fix most things. Cody says 24-hour flights. Everyone's going to know when you take grumpies. That's very true. Richard says 1 hour layover is cool, Jeremy. If you're using the same airline, it's just a Oh yeah, if you're on the same airline, yeah, it's no problem. It's actually pretty sweet. You get off one flight and get right on next. Definitely, absolutely. But if you got to switch airlines, that's what I was talking about. Good point, Richard. Very good point. David, how are you doing? I'm doing great. Thanks for dropping by. Second Florida says maybe in a couple of months, Robert. I'm hoping to go to Punta Gorda for a week. That sounds fun. Roger says hit those like buttons. Don't be lazy. Yes, feel free to hit the like button if you hadn't already. It does help for sure. Gilmore Hike says that's not one of my concerns. There's no shame in my game, brother. He's talking about toilets on airlines, I think. Did you go to? I don't think so. I've never heard of that place. I like to hang on a second. Richard says I like to live on the edge, 1 hour layover, just like my videos. That statement should get me 3 more subs. Yeah, go ahead, Richard. Go over to Richard's channel and get him some more subs. He did a good video in San Francisco, man. Did a great video, and it's on this channel too. Just type in San Francisco in the search function of my channel, and you'll be able to find that video. It's a great video. Cody in Texas, short layovers is why O.J. Simpson was always sprinting through the airports. Richard says, yeah, Eva uses the 777 out of SFO. Yeah, you'll have a good flight, man. You have a good flight. That would probably be highly recommendable, honestly. Robert says, Tucker, Florida might have to take a rain check on that early February. I will be in Sarasota for 2 months. In April, I'm going to Maryland. From there, I'll be till November. Wow, got some good travel plans going on there. Gomright says, Cody, he had to make up for that slow white Bronco, old reference. I have no idea what you're talking about, but I'm sure it's some kind of inside joke or something somewhere. So, any more questions about Malaysia? Because if not, I'm going to start to wrap it up. I want to thank Roger very, very much for his contributions. All my moderators, you guys are awesome as always. And everybody that was in the chat, I appreciate you watching. Very, very nice to see you guys in here on, for me, a Sunday morning. Gomer says, Cody, he had to make up for that slow. Oh, I just read that. Cody says, I've seen suites on planes now that you can literally have your own bedroom. Yeah, I've seen that too. Robert says, between the time in Maryland, I will be making several trips to Thailand. Jeremy, hope to see you then. Absolutely. Travel TV says, nice. Yes. Those first class seats are absolutely, you can get like on, I'm not sure if it's Qantas or if it's what's the other one? Singapore Air. Those were very, like where you get your own enclosed little capsule type thing. Emirates. That's what I was talking about. Emirates. Yes. Thank you, Stuck Florida. Gilmore Hike says, how did the check-in process go in the hotel? Did they try to keep your suitcase? If you're talking about in Malaysia, no, I only brought a backpack with me. So I had no problem at all. No problem. None. Jim says, hey guys, one thing to remember, another way to contribute to this wonderful channel is to share videos. That is very true. Feel free to share as many of your favorite DoMoreLife videos as you possibly can. Thank you, Jim. I'm so glad that you're in here, man. I really am so glad that you're in here, and it sounds like you're doing much better than you were, and I'm really, really, really happy about that. Because I want you back full speed. Go More Hike says, was there a restaurant within walking distance from the hotel? Yes, there was. It was kind of like a mini condo. More people uploading videos. It was kind of like a mini condo that was like in like a little shopping center type thing. So there was all kinds of stuff around, restaurants and anything you needed. It was pretty cool. Cody says, last time I looked, Houston to Bangkok first class was running about 7,000 to 10,000 both ways. Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, round trip. We got you, bro. That's one place you'll never see me first class. Me too, man. Unfortunately, me too. I'll take the economy for 800 to 1,000. Yeah, if you can find it for 1,000, that's awesome. My first trip to the Philippines when I came over to Southeast Asia, the round trip ticket was about $13.75, I think, in USD. It was expensive. It was very, very expensive. So I wasn't a real big fan of all that, but it is what it is. So, pay the extra 100 to 200 for economy plus, money well spent. I heard that economy plus or the not economy plus, that's what it's called, was a little bit better than what was almost a significant improvement over just regular economy. Like they have the TVs in economy plus, and they have more outlets for you and stuff like that. All you experience as Holy Mother of Pearl, 7 to 10K US dollar. Right? Yeah, it's a lot, man. It's a lot. First class is very, very expensive. Go More Hike. There's been talk on the internet about a direct flight from USA to Vietnam. That's interesting. I wouldn't expect that, but with as many expats that have left Thailand and gone to Vietnam, kind of makes sense, to be honest. Big Cannibal says business class is anywhere from 2K to 5,800. That's interesting. Cody says they all fly out at midnight, so you arrive in Bangkok at about noon. That's a pretty good time to arrive, to be honest, because then you can arrive and you can kind of just go the rest of your day and go to bed at a regular time, and you should wake up with very minimal jet lag. Very minimal jet lag, for sure. Let's see. Robert says, I heard Emirates is going to do economy plus this year. That would be nice. I've flown Singapore before, and I didn't get an upgrade to economy plus, but I did see the economy plus seating, and it was a major difference. Our experience says that's a month in Thailand. Yeah, it is, man. Yeah, it is. It doesn't take a lot to have a lot of fun over here, unless you're coming straight for the nightlife, and then of course it's going to be a lot of money. Gomar Hike says Vietnam flies the 787 and is cleared by the FAA, but they don't. I wish they would. 787 is a great airplane. Have any other routes or bookings planned yet? They have any routes or bookings planned yet? I don't know, brother. I have no idea. I haven't heard anything about it or seen anything about it. It just hadn't happened. So anyway, we've been going for about an hour, guys. Roger, my only contributor today, thank you so much, man. I really appreciate the contribution, and I thank you for trying to start a challenge. That was very, very, very nice of you, and always appreciate your support for sure. We do need a supersonic plane. I agree. Travel TV, no question about that. But thank Robert for his contributions. Thank you all that have contributed in the past and will contribute in the future. And there's the PayPal link just in case you change your mind. The DoMoreLife family, thanks, Roger. We appreciate it very, very much. I hope you guys got something out of this content. And just want to tell you guys that love you always, and certainly hope. There's been some talk on the internet about why the Concorde failed. We all know why the Concorde failed. It was just too expensive, and it was a plane ahead of its time. The crash that happened to it wasn't the Concorde's fault. That there was a piece of metal on the tarmac, and as the Concorde rolled over it, the tire threw it up into the engine. So that's what happened. Eddie says, why so many expats leaving Thailand to Vietnam? It's getting tough to live here, man. It's getting tough to live here. But that's all I got. Love you guys, mean it. Hope you have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful weekend. And whoever your football team is in America, I hope that they win, because my Panthers are definitely not there. Anyway, whatever you do today, guys, be sure you do more life, and I will see you on the next one. Love you. See ya.